Hello, everyone. Welcome to C++ Lesson 9.5, a special episode, Exceptions. In this episode, we will be talking about what an exception is and how to handle an exception. This will be especially useful in your next project. The Sum Challenge project. With that, I am going to open up a file that I have already opened up and worked with. And I'm going to explain to you line by line what I'm doing in this project. So, the project name is going to be dividebyzero.cpp. And you can see that we already have a lot written down here. And let me explain everything one by one. So, I have my two lines that should always be included in every C++ program. I have the Boolean function divide with two integers, a numerator and a denominator. We'll take a look at that in a second here. And then we have our main function over here. Now probably you're asking why is the Boolean why is the function divide a Boolean, and why did we create it in the first place? Well, as you may know in math class, not everything can be divided. Hence, the divide function. One thing that cannot happen during a division is you cannot have the denominator being 0. So in this case, this function will do a pass by value actually, of a numerator and denominator. And if the denominator is equal to 0, it will simply return false. However, if the denominator is not 0, it will skip this one line block of code and it will simply return true. This is especially important for us as we get more in depth with the code. So let's go up here and we see we have this little word called try. And in here is known as the try block. This is where all code will be written except if there is an exception that will be thrown. Let me explain what I mean here. This line of code, and we'll get back to in what ways this line of code can be thrown, but if this line of code executes, this throw signal will be caught outside of the try block in this little block of code. It will be caught right here in the catch, and it catches an integer divide. And then it runs the catch block of code and skips the rest of the try block. Now let's understand our actual code here. We have created two integer values, n and d. We ask the user to input n, and then we ask the user to input d. We didn't use an output method to ask to input the numerator and denominator for purposes of simplicity. Now we have this. And you can read it this way. If, with the variables of n and d, if n divided by d is not divisible, then throw this exception with the value, I'm going to simplify this, with the value of 1. What that's going to do is I don't know what I just did there. What that's going to do is that's going to throw this value of 1, and it's going to be caught after the try block. But remember, if it is divisible, if n divided by d is divisible, that means that it will not throw a catch block, throw a 1, and not go to the catch block, but it will simply evaluate it and output it. However, if it does throw a 1, it will be caught here, and the output of this catch will simply be cannot divide by 0 because d would be 0 then. This is way more complicated code than it needs to be. Feel free to simplify it. However, I am phrasing it like this because you will presumably need to use this when you write your code in your sum challenge. So let's run this code real quickly and see what we get. So let's do 10 divided by 2. And we get 5 without an end line. And let's do 9 divided by 6. We get a 1 since it's integer division. But let's do a 1 divided by 0. We get the phrase cannot divide by 0. And in fact, we did put that phrase right here in the catch block. So, a review today. We learned about the try block, the throw statement, and the catch block as well. Plus, we did review how to get user input, and we learned how to use we reviewed how to use a function as a condition, as well as write a function, and its definition or prototype. Declaration or prototype. I apologize. So hopefully all this information will get you prepared to writing your C++ challenge over the weekend. I will see you guys back on here Tuesday to show you how this works and how to structure your sum challenge program, because the sum challenge is a difficult challenge. If you need any help with what we have learned so far or about this week's challenge, please feel free to contact me via one of my social medias or through one of my or through the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.